Hello, hello. Here's a small demo of how TuxSEO works. We'll start by adding a project. This can be any link that you're working on. Now we'll give it a second to analyze the website. Once it loads, we are going to generate a bunch of blog posts in the background, as well as the keywords and the competitors that you are working against. Let's take a look at what we have. As you can see, while we waited for a second, we came up with a bunch of blog post ideas like boost team productivity, 7 AI workflows, automation hacks, build your ultimate knowledge base, instant answers for any team. These should be very relevant to the site that you've added. In our case, that's Notion, and it seems like it is very relevant. Right now we have two type of posts that we generate, which is SEO optimized posts and the eye-catching posts that are designed for virality. So these were the SEO optimized ones, and here are the eye-catching ones. Also, during the first step, we have analyzed the project that you've shared and found out the summary, the key features, the target audience, the pain points addressed, and how to use the product, as well as all the internal and external links that are mentioned on the website. You are free to edit those fields to better suit your needs. This will be used during the idea generation and the actual post generation. Furthermore, during the scanning, we also generated the keywords that we think that should be working well for you. What you can do here is use these to guide the AI into generating the content further. For example, for Notion, we do want to focus on AI agents, AI writing, project management definitely, and the knowledge base software. These are sorted by volume by default, but you can also use the cost per click and their competition, as well as seeing the trend of the keyword. There are a lot of ideas that you can work with, and some less interesting ideas with zero volume. Also, if you want, you can simply add new keywords by typing them in and adding them in. Writing. There we go. That's the new keyword that was generated. Cool. After your ideas have been generated, you can feel free to start generating the actual content. You can, based on the titles, the reasoning behind the suggestion as to why it would work, you can like or dislike so that it better guides the AI in the future to give you better suggestions, or simply archive it if you're not interested in it. Now let's try and generate an article. Let's go with the boost team productivity one. Once this is generated, we're going to run a bunch of validation tests on the content created to make sure that the content is valid and makes sense. The validations can include placeholder links, placeholder images, can detect whether the content is incomplete or too short. Once the blog post has been generated, you can take a look further to make sure it's good. Looks like in this case we detected some validation issues. Content doesn't have a proper ending, likely that generation failed at some point, and content contains placeholder text that needs to be replaced. Let's take a look. So as you can see, it's adding image suggestion, which is something that we want to avoid so that the content is actually relevant. And also it looks like it stopped in the middle. So we are gonna click fix issues and hope that it fixes it. Once the fixes have run, we can see that the text that has been generated is looking good. Proper ending with a conclusion. And everything looks good. The next thing you can do is simply copy and put it into your content management system, or better yet, you can set up an API endpoint to which we will push all the content automatically. Since most websites use a CMS system for blogging, such as WordPress or Strapi, you can simply give us the endpoint and tell us what data we should send you. For example, the content, if that's how you call your variable for the content, and we'll give you suggestions as to what stuff we can push. You can obviously do some manual stuff, like instead of publishing it directly, you can send it to draft and make sure everything looks good before you actually post it. Furthermore, there is an automatic submission flow where if you enable this and you have the endpoint, you don't have to do anything. We'll generate titles, the content, and actually push it to the website, giving you instructions here. And that's pretty much it. That's TuxSEO. Hope you enjoyed the presentation and the demo, and let me know if you have any feedback.